Hey there, YouTube. This is SJM4306. Just got another package today. This guy is another headset, and this is from a company called EKSA, EKSA, and they make kind of gaming-oriented stuff, it looks like. A lot of kind of RGB backlit sort of things, keyboards, accessories, and obviously headphones. And so this guy is a little different than what we've been taking a look at recently. They saw that I'd done some reviews in the past on Bluetooth headphones, and this is wireless, but it's not actually Bluetooth. And I thought that was interesting enough to warrant. Plus, it just looked really cool on the computer, so I wanted to see how it looks in real life. Anyway, this guy, if we just spin this over here, is model E910, and it's in black. And here you can see, yeah, obviously, gaming headset. And on the back is just kind of neat logo, 8-bit Mario clouds there. And what looks like some kind of Pac-Man grid. Anyway, yeah, let's just pop this open. So this comes in a box, and when we open the box, we get another box. So, interestingly enough, the outer box was up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. That's kind of cool, actually. I like that reference to Konami code. Anyway, it does come with a assemblable, if that is a word, stand. And it looks pretty nice. It has, it's just plastic. The metal tube part is obviously metal. And it has little rubber feeties on here. And it just holds it. It's about, I want to say like 10 inches, and it'll just hold your headphones on your desk. Nice thing to include. Anyway, once we remove the outer box, we have the E910s themselves. These are wireless. They're actually 5.8 gigahertz RF. So as far as I know, these don't have Bluetooth, which we'll get to in a sec. I think that's maybe a missed opportunity. If they could have had a dual wireless, that would have been fantastic. Anyway, we'll see how the RF, the 5.8 gigahertz RF works. It does come with the USB dongle, and that's what it uses to actually transmit. So you're going to need a device that has a, like a USB port, like a PlayStation or an Xbox or even a Nintendo Switch. I'm guessing this enumerates as like a USB audio device, and it'll stream digital audio. It'll convert it into RF and then transmit to the headphones. That's what I'm imagining it working like. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, you can see it works with Windows, PC, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, laptop, Mac OS, and TV. But yeah, we're gonna have to see. I mean, I would love to use these as just a regular old pair of headphones, so we'll definitely have to give it a try out. Hopefully there's like a line in or something we can do. Manufacture, etc., etc. Yeah, here you can see the whole reason I guess that they push the 5.8 gigahertz is the latency and the range, probably over something 2.4 gigahertz like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, something like that, which will be more limited. And they're claiming about 15 milliseconds latency, which I'm pretty sure Bluetooth is well above that in general, for like the SBC protocol. Anyway, yeah, it says more stable than 2.4 gigahertz Bluetooth, which is exactly what I just said. 15 milliseconds low latency, 15 meter range. Now that is interesting. So Bluetooth usually tops out at about 30 feet with no obstructions, no walls. Here they're claiming to be able to achieve just under 50 feet. So that'll actually be interesting to test. And they said about over 10-hour playtime, which actually honestly isn't that great for a pair of wireless headphones. A lot of the phones I have can easily top 30 hours. So 10 hours seems a bit short, but we'll have to see. Maybe if the audio quality is exceptional, maybe that'll warrant the short battery life. And here it says as environmental noise cancellation. I'm guessing that's for the mic input. There's actually a boom mic. And so I'm guessing it does have some noise cancellation for chip, pickup, more accurate, etc., etc. And interestingly enough, they claim 7.1, like a virtual surround sound. We'll have to see how that works. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not much of a PC gamer. I console game, but I don't wear headphones when I'm doing that. I just have my stereo system. But yeah, we'll give this a try, testing it. I have a couple game consoles. I can easily test it with those, as well as using this, maybe watch some videos, listen to some music, see how it works just as a general purpose PC headset. Anyway, I've rambled on for long enough. Let's just pop this guy open. Very nice packaging and like design. Obviously, they put kind of a lot of thought into the gaming related aspect. And first off, we have a really nice bag. Oh, I forgot to preface this. So these headphones, they retail for, I believe, $89.99. And so they're not dirt cheap. And these are more expensive than the last pair of Bluetooth headphones I've taken a look at. But maybe that's hopefully, I mean, just from feeling this bag is already better quality than the last bag that came with the last Bluetooth pair of headphones. This is actually quite thick, and it's plastic leather. It's not real leather, clearly, but it does actually look like it's made really well. Anyway, we have the headphones themselves. Just get them out of here without damaging anything. Okay, and here we are. First impressions, these are made really well. And they're like super wow. The it smells very strongly of like some kind of plastic leather sort of stuff. I'm hoping that goes away over time, but like everything's so soft. Oh my goodness. Like the last headphones I complained about was the band had some kind of rubber, like a firmer rubber, and I wish that that band was like this. This is like super. It's like a marshmallow almost. And even the ear pads. This I have a feeling already. This is going to be very, very comfortable. Look at how much they compress, and it's actually quite deep. It's about an inch, so my ears will not likely touch the inside of this, which I kind of hate that when your ears touch the inside of on-ear headphones. And interestingly enough, the mic is actually retractable. That's a really nice mechanism, and you can articulate it and bend it whatever way you want. And then when you're done, you just tuck it away there. That's a really nice design. We have metal side parts here. So this part is plastic. So time will tell whether that will be able to survive multiple, extensions and insertions. But at least this material is actually metal there and seems to be mounted pretty decently well. We do have little wires, independent wires that connect the actual headphones themselves that go through the band to each side. That's possibly a failure point, but it looks like they give enough slack at the very least. These metal grills on the side, interestingly enough, I can see right into it, and it looks like these are actually open backs. So if I hold that just the right angle, you can see the back of the speaker where the magnet is mounted, and I can just about see wires going into there. So yeah, these are open backs. So I'm expecting them to sound, well, as the name implies, quite open, but maybe this is a good thing that these aren't just a generic pair of Bluetooth headphones. These are probably going to sound bleed pretty well. But also the other hand of that, the other side of that is you can hear ambient noises even when you're wearing these. So these are definitely not going to be noise canceling or noise isolating in any way. But very interesting design with like the triangles on the grills there. Let's see what we got. We have the USB-C, which thank you very much for not having micro USB on headphones. I swear to God, if I see another pair of micro USB on modern devices, I'm going to scream. Anyway, that's nice to see there. We have the power button. We have what appears to be a mic mute button. And we have, interestingly enough, a like an actual analog volume control as opposed to just digital buttons, which is actually interesting. It gives you it's more intuitive, obviously, to change the volume, and it's smoother. That could be an issue over like a long period of time, though. It might get scratchy, but like all potentiometers, you usually just squirt it with some contact cleaner and swivel it around a little bit, and that'll fix an old pair just fine. And yeah, that's about it as far as I can see there. The band itself, there's like a metal supporting piece. Oh, it has their logo on top. But yeah, it feels like spring metal, but it's not too tight. Actually, this is shaping up. I have a feeling this is going to be really comfortable to wear because it's checking all the boxes in terms of articulation. Yeah, even the ear pads actually do swivel side to side a little bit if I just hold this. So there is a little bit of articulation besides just the up and down. So yeah, I have a feeling these are going to be great to wear for extended periods of time. Anyway, we have the left and right markings inside the earbuds, which is quite common. And very nice red accent there. Let's see if it has a charge. So I'm guessing press and hold the power button. There we go. This is a part that I thought looked really nice online when I saw it has like a glowing logo, and that's the company's logo, which I believe, yeah, was on the box there as well. Within like it looks like a hazard triangle, and that's on each side. That looks so nice in that red color. There you go. I just love that. That looks really nice. And let's just shut these off for a second, though. Oh, and I can hear a voice that said power off right there. So it's going to have voice notifications for like the status, which could be a good or a bad thing. Anyway, we have the goodie packet here. We have what appears to be a really nice, decently long pair of, it's a 3.5 millimeter jack. Actually, now that I think about it, I haven't seen, yeah, I don't see any aux in on these guys. So that's a bit of a bummer if I'm being honest. The cord is about, I want to say like probably like 2.5, 3 feet. And it's like silicone, decently feeling silicone, and it's gold plated, so it's a nice pair. So where did these go in? I guess on, yeah, there's a 3.5 millimeter jack on the transmitter dongle. So I guess you have to plug this into like a computer, and if there's USB data, then it'll use it like a sound card and transmit that way. But I guess if you just power this off of like a power bank, you can insert analog audio there. So that kind of stinks. So you need this dongle. If you lose it, you're screwed pretty much. There's no other way to get audio into the headphones, and that's kind of a big shame for me. I would have loved it if just on this other side have an audio input, so that you can just jack directly into the headphones. You don't need a dongle. You can use this anywhere. That would have been nice, but maybe that's not. If they're marketing towards gamers, you're gonna be around your computer all the time anyway, and you can just plug into USB, I guess. Would have been nice to have the option though. Anyway, we do have a very nice little Velcro uh, kind of thing on this power cord, and this is the full size to Type C for charging. And this guy is about the same length as the auxiliary patch cord that I just showed you, about 3 feet. And it's the same kind of really nice silicone rubber. I don't think it's silicone, but it's like a very flexible rubber. And yeah, they didn't cheap out on accessories, I'll give them that. Now the dongle itself does look like cheap plastic, if I'm being honest. And it's really light inside. There must be nothing. It must just be one PCB, and that's kind of it. And other than this, the actual USB plug and this audio input jack, there's nothing else. Just other than that, there's like this striped pattern on there, and that's it. Which, if you were interested, The speaker diameter is 50 millimeters, and it gives you a bunch of specifications there. Let's just zoom in on that. So yeah, if you are interested, the battery, sorry, the Le battery, is that French or is apparently 1200 milliamps. I guess they mean milliamp hours. That's actually a pretty large battery for a pair of headphones. So this must not be super efficient to only give you about 10 hours of runtime. I guess that would equate to 120 milliamp current draw from the headphones while it's on, maximum, I'm guessing, which is a decent amount of current to be pulling. It says it does take 4 hours to recharge. That's also another oof. It takes, so it'll only run for 10 hours, and it takes almost half as long as that to fully recharge. Would have liked to see quick charge on that. That is a bit of a letdown. So yeah, it says 10 hours is tested at 70% volume. And so if you're in standby, it'll run for 200 hours. That's actually pretty decent, pretty efficient when in standby. And off status, 900 hours. So when they say off status, does it mean like it's switched off right now, sitting there, so it'll only run for 900 hours then? That's interesting. So there must be some quiescent draw even though it's switched off. And yeah, actually here it says 100 milliamps, so I guess not far off on my calculation there, and etc., etc. And the USB dongle, interesting that they give specifications for that too. And it's saying that runs at 68 milliamps. Sorry about that. It's interesting. I'm really excited to hear how these sound. I actually don't have any other open back headphones as reference. All my other headphones are either on ears, closed back, or over ears, also like noise canceling. So this will actually be an experience. I'm not sure how much these are going to leak. And anyway, so I'm actually going to sit down and like for a pretty good amount of time, I'm going to use this like as my sole pair of headphones for a week if I can get away with it. It's going to be annoying though because a lot of my devices are Bluetooth only and no Bluetooth in this guy, so I'm going to have to use this dongle, and I'm guessing I'm going to have to plug in a Bluetooth receiver if I did want to use this over Bluetooth, and then this has to be plugged into another power source to power this dongle. So that's going to be a bit annoying. Anyway, I'll figure it out and I will get back to you guys in a sec. Okay, it's been about a week and a half, maybe about 2 weeks. I've used these actually pretty significantly, and I've been taking these to work and using them as my pretty much all day pair of headphones. Now, here's the thing. So, let me just move the box for a sec. So, here is what I've generally found. These are actually probably the most comfortable pair of headphones I've ever worn. Uh, with the exception of maybe the Bose QC like 35 twos. Those were actually super comfortable as well. But these are actually pretty close, I find, for my head size and shape and whatever. A lot of headphones, the other pair of headphones that I got recently, the Sony XM3s or whatever the heck they're called, uh, they tend to pinch and they're kind of quite humid. When I wear them, it kind of gets a little bit uh, moist, I guess is the best word I can think of, inside the ear pads, like on my ears. And so I can't really wear those for more than about an hour or two at a time. These I literally wore all day, a couple days in a row. Um, and the rest of the days I wore them for like 3 or 4 hour stretches of time and took them off during lunch or when I had to speak with coworkers or whatever. And so I can attest these are actually super comfortable. And there's really only like maybe one or two things I think that they could do to improve the comfort of them. And one of them is, so there's, that's great that there's this up down articulation. There is a tiny little bit of side to side. I guess how it's mounted inside here. If there were maybe another axis, another joint that would allow kind of more freedom twisting kind of to the front to back of your head, I think that the ear pads would sit a little bit flusher kind of to your face, like I guess tangentially, and that might make it a little bit more comfortable, but as it is, it's actually super comfortable. And I was actually pretty surprised. I mean, I'd noted that the ear pads are really plush and like even the headband, everything just is like really soft material, and that really helps a lot. And when I first started wearing these, I had it way too tight on my head. So this part was actually pressing quite a bit, and it kind of presses on the top of your head, and it made it a little uncomfortable. And then as soon as I loosened up the ear pads and extended these out, perfect. So that's what you want to do. The clamping force is actually sufficient to hold it onto your head, mostly with just the ear pads. And I've noticed some headphones will pinch kind of either at the top of your head, at the top of your ears, or at your kind of jawline. These almost no pinch, which I'm really surprised. These are one of the first headphones that I've noticed that I've actually worn for an extended period of time that don't pinch like anywhere real noticeable on your head. And I was able to wear these, like I said, for like 8 hours straight, which is kind of insane. And that brings me to the second point. These I didn't quite realize at first. These are open backs. When I read the description, I thought that they were like you know, over ear sealed, but these are definitely open backs, which is actually interesting. It's a good and a bad thing. So the good thing about that is it actually lets sound and I believe like some amount of air through, so you don't really get that humid problem because it doesn't perfectly airtight seal around your ears per se. It'll actually let some air for your ears to breathe. So even when wearing these for like a considerable amount of time, I never really felt that kind of itchy moist ear problem that I definitely have with the Sony XM3s. Uh, and the other good thing is I can actually hear what's going on around me enough that if someone's trying to talk to me, I can immediately hear and take off the headphones, pause whatever I'm listening to, which is awesome. That's also a bad thing though if you actually want these to isolate, like if you wanted to use these like around power tools or whatever, something noisy like on an airplane, these probably aren't good for you. And another reason why they wouldn't be really that suitable for that kind of situation is the way that they transmit music. This is a 5.8 gigahertz RF USB dongle, and it will actually accept audio from a headphone jack, but this needs its own power. And so, what I've been doing is when I have my laptop, I just plug this into my laptop and it'll auto recognize. I use a Windows machine, but I'm sure any machine will auto recognize this kind of as like a sound card, and it just redirects audio and it connects pretty much instantly. There's no pairing fumble, nothing. You just plug this in, power these on, bam, it's connected. That is absolutely fantastic. The bad thing is this doesn't seem to have any noticeable benefits in terms of like the range over Bluetooth. This cut off about at the same distance I've noticed other Bluetooth headphones cut off when I'm walking around at work. I'll have my laptop at my desk, and if I go, walk into the other room, go into the restroom, or walk down to the manufacturing area, pretty much every single headphone that I own will start cutting out when I get to around like the 30-foot mark, or maybe even less if there's a concrete wall in between me. And this was no different. This cut out heading to the bathroom, and once I was in the bathroom, it just could not make a connection. So there's really no benefit I've noticed in terms of like transmission distance over Bluetooth. But I really do appreciate that this just plug and play. You plug it in and it works. I didn't have to fumble. I didn't have to press a pairing button. Nothing. So that's absolutely fantastic. Thing that sucks about this though is then you have to use this dongle. If you lose this dongle, that's it. You need to, I guess, buy another one or something. And the other thing is that sort of limits the usability of this, because I would love to use these with my cell phone or my tablet watching movies. Um, this definitely was designed catered towards gaming, and I say that because of the sound profile. It has a very wide soundstage. Being open backs, you'd sort of expect that, but the bass isn't overpowering, and I actually kind of like that. It's definitely punchy. It's not as in your face as the Sony XM3s. It's a lot more controlled and a little bit more subtle. But that also gives the mid range and the upper and kind of a lot more room to, in order to for you to hear the clarity, and the sound stage is a little bit wider. So it definitely does have a unique soundstage compared to a lot of other consumer headphones tend to be much more bass emphasized. This is definitely a lot more balanced, the overall soundstage, but it is able to keep like a pretty tight, punchy bass, and I like that. And it's actually very well suited for you, as you would expect, like first-person shooters, gunshots, explosions. They sound fantastic on this, and that's why I watch a lot of action movies and stuff, and so that sort of soundstage works very well for that kind of stuff. So I would love to be able to watch movies on like my tablet or projector or whatever over Bluetooth, but unfortunately you can't do that. Well, you can't do that directly. You actually would need to plug in a Bluetooth receiver into this dongle, and I've done that. So I've actually done that. I plugged this into a power bank to there you go. I plugged it into a power bank, and just to get it to not be tethered to anything, and then I plugged a Bluetooth receiver into here, and then I paired my phone to the receiver, and then I had this redirect the sound into the headphones, and that worked. It was just like really unwieldy. So I really wish that if they could design Bluetooth either into the headphones themselves, that would be fantastic, or have this dongle have like a dual function where it has a built-in battery and Bluetooth, and you could switch between Bluetooth or 5.8 gigahertz RF. That would be fantastic, and sort of make this its own little thing that you can use portably without having to, plug it into a computer or whatever. But ideally, I think the best solution would be if they could just build Bluetooth into the headphones, in addition to the RF. I understand why they went with the RF, because it will inherently have less latency, and if you're playing games, I guess that's important, but not really so much for movies, or like other consumption media, like TV shows or whatever. If you want to watch some YouTube videos, having a couple milliseconds of latency isn't really going to affect anything, and you can actually, most video software, you can compensate for that. So at least give us the option to have Bluetooth. I think if that were the case, this had both Bluetooth as well as the RF dongle, and you could just choose, there's a switch on the side or something you hit, and it would select one or the other. 100%, I would definitely put down a Benjamin for one of these. Uh, as it stands, though, I believe these retail for, I want to say it was about 80 or $90, and I'm not sure if there's a coupon or anything running right now. So those definitely aren't a cheap pair of headphones, but I think if you need to wear headphones for a significant period of time, say you play esports or whatever, I think that might actually just make these worth it. In that case, having the retractable mic is also really nice. I've never actually used this. I don't really do VoIP or anything like that. So I'm not really ever going to use this. So I just tuck it in there. But another kind of oddity is there's an actual analog volume pot here. And at first I thought I would hate that because I'm used to digital controls, but actually it's significantly more convenient than a digital, just having two buttons, because I can easily flick this down to turn down the volume or up real fast. I can get very fine positional control to get the exact perfect level. A lot of devices nowadays, I've noticed the volume adjustments kind of coarse, and so at one notch, the volume's too quiet, and then you turn it up and it's too loud, and there's no in between. You don't have that problem with analog. So actually, kind of that grew on me. Having What I've noticed is kind of interesting is the voice that plays when you turn them on or turn them off, or switch the mic on or off, or you can also switch on and off the surround sound mode, which I didn't really notice that big of a difference with the surround sound mode. I just leave it on anyway. It sounds good enough to me that way. But yeah, it has the English sort of lady speaking, telling you, uh, you know power on, power off. You know the sort of thing. Some people that pisses off, that doesn't really bother me. You only hear it when you turn it on or when you turn it off, and that's it. So I'm good on that. What I absolutely love, and I think this looks so sick, is this is this red backlit light, kind of the RGB phase with gaming computers and whatnot. But the black headphones themselves and the red LED emblem on there, I think is just the icing on the cake, and that just looks really nice. Obviously, when you're wearing these, you're never going to see it. But I've had a couple coworkers come up to me when I was wearing these, and they asked what was going on with that. And they seem pretty interested in that. So yeah, I think it would be kind of neat to maybe be able to adjust the color of that if it had an RGB LED, but that's purely aesthetic and it doesn't affect anything really. The only other thing is, let's see, haven't tried this. You might be able to pull this off. I want to see, because these ear pads, they are this sort of, I want to say it's like a plastic leather. It's definitely one of the better ones that I felt. I have a feeling, because of how like soft and plush these are going to last quite a bit longer than the cheaper ones. But it doesn't seem like I can easily pull this off. So I'm wondering if these aren't really supposed to be user replaceable, which will be a shame. They eventually will wear down. So that's sort of a sort of thing there, especially on a pair of headphones that cost like more than $50. I would expect for you to be able to kind of service them and fix them up and keep them for quite a long while. Another thing I like is there's really deep pads on these, so my ears don't actually touch the inside there. On the Sony XM3s, my ears actually touch. There's like foam inside, kind of where this cloth is on those, and it does touch, and sometimes it tickles, and it gets more irritating the more like humid my ears get. So I think they did a really good job of designing kind of the ear pads and how they sit, how deep they go, as well as these open backs are really growing on me. I usually go for kind of noise isolating sort of things, but this definitely opened my eyes to the benefits of having open backs. You just get just a wider sound stage, more balanced, not so bass heavy. And I know you could EQ those things on any pair of headphones, but I just really, it was sort of like a breath of fresh air, putting these on my head and wearing them while just doing everything from watching movies to TV shows, YouTube videos. So overall, I would say if you are a gamer or you work a job where you have to wear headphones for a significant amount of time, and especially if you have to, actually talk through them VoIP web meetings, a lot of us are working from home, so I could definitely see that being as a benefit. These are definitely pretty compelling. They are definitely not the cheapest headphones out on the market that have all these features on paper. But this is definitely one of the better pairs. Oh yeah, another thing, I really didn't kind of like the recessed USB-C port. I wish it was kind of flush, because some of my cords won't actually fit in there. Now clearly the cord that it comes with uh, is thin enough that it will fit, and most of my cords kind of do. Some of the chunkier ones won't fit. It's not a deal breaker, but it just would have been nice to either make the hole a little bit bigger to accommodate, or just if you brought out that USB-C port so it's closer to the edge, that would be great. But yeah, overall, very happy. Is it worth $90? Like I said, it really depends on what your use case is. And I think they could make a more compelling argument if they added the Bluetooth functionality to this. In addition, I don't want them to drop the RF in favor of only Bluetooth, but if they could do both, 100% I would recommend these. So anyway, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.